Hello my marvellous sausages, I've got a fantastic PvE build for you for the new Titan exotic, the Path of the Burning Steps. Now these only drop from the Legend Lost Sectors or Master Lost Sectors, so make sure you run one of those when boots are the prize for the day. It has a main exotic perk called Firewalker, hence the Firewalk with me, and I also love David Lynch, but anyway, that's by the by. Now this is a buff that's activated when you make a solar kill, and this can be with either a solar weapon or a solar ability. And the buff, once it's activated, works with any weapon type once you've got it, so you don't have to keep on using your solar weapon. You can flick your heavier, you can flick your kinetic, or whatever. The buff is universal. It also stacks up to 4 times, and it gives you a 20% buff, so it becomes really potent. But it doesn't trigger every time you get a solar kill, only after 2 or 3 kills. Solar splash damage is the key to getting this Firewalk to proc as much as possible. So I'm using Ticcus Divination. Now if you've had last season, or you haven't picked it up for your season pass, you can actually buy the weapon from the exotic kiosk here in the tower. It's underneath the Beyond Light doodad, yes there, look, and here it is. Make sure you've got an exotic cipher you can spend. You can pick them up from Zur, of course, and then you'll need 1 Ascendant Shard, a bit of microphasic data that is, and 100,000 glimmer, of which I don't have at the moment because I'm skint. I've also put in my code Duello rocket launcher because that will give us some nice splash damage from our solar rockets there as well. And for the super, I've gone for bottom tree. I've gone for Code of the Siegebreaker. So the main reason for this, of course, is the sunspots and endless siege. Hammers create a sunspot on impact. While standing in sunspots, you throw hammers faster. Sun warrior kills leave a deadly sunspot in their wake, so you're creating loads more solar pockets of damage all around the battlefield, and you're going to get lots more kills that way as well. Solar kills, of course. Now we've got all these teamed up together. Now a beautiful complement for these are Warmind Cells. These are really quite prominent this season, so what you need to do is you need to get your Wrath of Rasputin, which is a 1 energy cost mod there. That'll allow solar splash damage to create Warmind Cells, and then they can possibly proc the Firewalk as well, so there's even more splash damage there for you. And then I've augmented this a little bit with global reach, so that gives the Warmind Cells a larger radius in their explosion to help them on. In my Path of the Burning Steps actual doodads, I've stuck in Rage of the Warmind. Now this adds additional solar damage to the explosions of the Warmind Cells that you destroy, so that's well worth putting in. Then on my class, I've stuck in 2 of the new mods to see how much they're going to help us. Detonations from Warmind Cells cause stunning disruption against the Overload champions and Unstoppable champions and any git around them, which is pretty cool. And I've also put Sundering Blast on as well, so stunning a champion creates an explosive blast. So you're going to get a knock-on from that. They'll get stunned from this explosion, and then they'll also detonate with some solar energy as well, so you've got more chance to proc Firewalk with me. So really, we're totally set up here to give excellent kick-ins. Now this build works particularly well in the new seasonal activity. It's brilliant in Gambit. It's really handy in Strikes too, but let's have a look and see how effective this is. Now the great thing about Ticcus Divination, of course, is that you can just do a quick drawback like that, and you can target loads of enemies. And once you target loads of enemies and something in the thick of it, then you're going to get the Firewalk to proc. So there we go, it's proc. It's got 10 seconds to pop. And that's going to give us a 20% damage boost on our arrows here, or indeed any weapon that you care to use. There we go, we're on ×2 already. It's excellent. That's another 20% boost there, which is great. ×3. I've only been playing a couple of minutes. Look, it's great. It just procs all the time, and it starts getting more and more deadly. And the great thing is, as well, is that, of course, the more the buff that you get, the Seeker arrows just hit and take off loads of damage. I see all these guys up here. I tend to just dump it into a pool of them and then shoot one of them. They'll do a chain reaction. Look, and there we go. We've got a 2 there straight away. It is an excellently powerful buff. Bloody hell, ×3. Look at that. Kickin' City, population me. Now, I've got the catalyst going on my Ticcus Divination here, which is well worth getting, although it can prove to be a bit of a pain in the arse to get. I've done a video on that if you want to have a little look at it. But what this does is creates more damage from your arrow explosions, so it's well worth getting. Oh, I've got max mode for an idiot. Hi, I'm Max Motes. Now, I found it comes incredibly handy in this section of the Nightfall because of the targeting of the arrows and the amount of times you get Firewalker to proc as well. You start taking the shankers down. There we go. Got one procking there already. Another. 2, look. Times 2. Times 3. Times 4. I've already... So now with times 4, I noticed that just logging on with the arrows, look, destroys them. It's great. It's so quick. And every time you get a kill, you get... Well, not every kill, of course. It doesn't proc every single time. But it procs pretty much enough to keep the buff going. Ah, we've lost it. There we are, but we're already back up again, look. So this is so handy, particularly for this section, which can often take you unawares. So you get swamped by loads of shanks. This is bloody great. Times 3. So you can see I'm not actually aiming down the sights very often. Look, here I am trying a bit of PvP. I'm not very good at it, but I do enjoy it. Now, I went in, I saw a Duskfield grenade, so I just ran into it, and you can see it procced the Firewalk straight away, which was great, and didn't really slow me down that much at all, which is really, really cool. So I can recommend it for that. If you're up against Stasis, don't be too afraid. Plus, I did check to see if you could proc it yourself by chucking your own Duskfield grenade at your feet, but it didn't work, and I just looked like some bell end in a kind of dome of stars. I mentioned earlier in the video that if you're having problems getting the exotic pieces to drop for you, because you know with the lost sectors you've got to have either chest, head, arms or legs depending on what it is, well, I've got a little method which should allow you to pull whatever exotic gear that you want after you get the exotic engram to drop. But there's a little trick to it, so what I'll do is I'll put a link up to that video here so you can go and have a little look at that, which I think you'll find very helpful. And indeed, I hope you found this helpful as well. And if you did enjoy it, drop me a like and a subscribe. That would be brilliant. And also, don't forget, I've got me a Buy Me a Coffee page as well, if you want to fling me a couple of quid so I can go and buy some green beans. I don't know why I said that. I don't even like green beans. Actually, I do. I don't know why I said that either. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to you all again very soon. Sausage out.